Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Week 4 is in the books. Chargers took care of the undefeated Raiders last night, leaving Arizona as the only undefeated team. I want to go ahead and give my top 5 after the first quarter of the season. So far, I have number 1, the Buffalo Bills. They have the number 1 defense in the league so as far as yards allowed and points allowed. Number 6 offense as far as yards gained. Number 2 in points scored. So very potent on both sides of the ball so far. Josh Allen playing very well, MVP candidate type season so far. 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They seem to have gotten on stride, found their stride after that week 1 loss. Biggest improvement, I think, for them is the rushing game, which was a question mark coming into the season. They're actually number 5 in rushing currently in the league. So obviously, kudos to them for identifying the problem or the question mark on the team and go ahead and improving it in a great way. So could change by the end of the season, but right now at Buffalo, number 1. I have Arizona, surprisingly, at number 2 after that great win against LA the other day. The only undefeated team left in the league, as I mentioned. They have the number 1 offense as far as yards gained and points scored. Kyler Murray, obviously, I think is the leading MVP candidate right now since they did take care of Matt Stafford and LA on Sunday. He has 9 touchdowns passing. He has 3 rushing touchdowns. He's able to extend plays. They've got a very potent offense. They've got weapons really all over the place that can catch the ball out of the backfield, tight end. So very potent offense. Defense has been very disruptive as well, really coming from all different areas. So I have Arizona at number 2. They could very easily be number 1. But again, I think Buffalo's slightly better than them if they were to meet head-to-head. Number 3, I have Dallas. The Cowboys playing very well after their week 1 loss on opening night to Tampa Bay. They actually have the number 3 offense as far as yards gained, number 4 as far as points scored. So playing very well on the offensive side of the ball. Biggest improvement on the offensive side of the ball, I think, is the rushing game is back. We've seen Zeke get a couple of good games back to back. They're actually number 2 in the league right now in rushing, 165 yards per game. And then, of course, the most obvious improvement has been the play of their defense. They are tied with Buffalo for number 1 in turnover differential at +7 after 4 games. They've got guys flying around the field, making big plays at key moments and really shutting down teams when they need to. So Dallas playing very well on both sides of the ball again. They're able to overcome some coaching mishaps, and we'll see if they'll be able to continue to do that as the season goes along. But right now I have them at number 3. Number 4, I have the Rams, who had at number 1 last week. I think Sunday was more about how good Arizona really is and not an indictment on the Rams. They still have a very potent offense, still have a potent defense. Matt Stafford still playing very well. He did show some signs of that old Detroit Matthew Stafford a couple of times on Sunday when the pressure got to him. A lot of quarterbacks tend to do that, though. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of that plays out or how that plays out the rest of the season. They do play some teams with some very strong front sevens moving forward. So if the pressure continues to get to him and he starts to revert back to that old Matt Stafford, LA could be in some trouble. I don't anticipate that happening since he and Sean McVay seem to be on the same page and in sync and in tune so well. But it'll be something to keep an eye on. Number 5, I have the team that won last night, the other LA team, the LA Chargers. They again are playing very well. Have the 1 loss to Dallas, which very easily could have been a win. They have a top 5 defense in yards allowed and points. They are +3 in the turnover margin. Obviously, they closed out the game last night with a turnover, intercepting Derek Carr. So, defense playing very well again for them. Justin Herbert playing very well, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions so far on the season. A couple weeks ago, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. in closing out that game and beating Kansas City. And then on the defensive side, again, you gotta give it to them. They shut down the number one passing offense last night for the most part of that game, and really made it very difficult for Derek Carr to get going. And I think mainly it was because they shut down the running game, which again made it kind of one dimensional on Las Vegas's part, and was tough for them to do anything other than the two quick drives they had, and then after that, LA again stepped up and shut them down. So that's my top five. I could be wrong about all of it. It could all change week to week, and most likely will. And it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out. But I think after the first quarter of the season, that's a solid top five. Let me know how wrong I am, how right I am. I'm looking forward to debating. Let me know.